Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're going to take a look at another Victorinox model. This one is the Tinker, and it was specifically designed to be thin and very lightweight, perfect for EDC purposes. As far as weight goes, we're talking just barely over 2 ounces. That's right, barely over 2 ounces. Now, as usual, specs in the description box below. Be sure to check that out when the video is over. But let's get into it. First off, you do get the typical Victorinox toothpick, which is far from the best. And you also get the typical Victorinox tweezers, which are some of the absolute best out there in the industry as far as multi-tools go. So let's take a look at everything else. Put those aside. Split ring, and yes, Victorinox does count that as a tool. As you can see, this is a 2-layer Swiss Army knife, nice and thin. Let's check out the tools on the spine. You do get a 3-dimensional T-handle Phillips driver. Very useful. Oh, and as usual with most Victorinox models this size, none of the tools locks into place. None of them. One more tool on the spine. This is going to be your reamer with a sewing eye, and yes, that tip is extremely sharp. Moving on, you do have a main knife blade, 3 inches long, stainless steel. Next to that is a shorter knife blade. I find this one useful for sharpening pencils, but that's just me. And on this side, typical Victorinox bottle opener feature with a slotted driver and a wire stripper on the bottom. Now this one does have the usual Victorinox half stop. You can use it as a screwdriver this way or at a 90-degree angle as well. Next to that, we have the very useful, well, if your cans don't have a pop tab on them, and not all cans do, ironically, even in this day and age, Victorinox's excellent push forward can opener feature with a very small slotted driver on the end. For those of you who've been with me for quite a long time, maybe you remember the video I did in which I pointed out that this tiny slotted driver is very useful for Phillips screws as well. But as I've already shown, this particular Victorinox model does come with an excellent Phillips driver. Now, the handle scales. Honestly, even though this would make a good EDC Swiss Army knife because of its weight and thinness, I bought it mostly because I really wanted these gorgeous, gorgeous blue handle scales. And you can get the Tinker with a huge variety of different handle scales, different motifs, as well as solid colors. I did not have this gorgeous translucent blue in my collection. And I decided, well, I really wanted one. And yes, it does make a very good EDC Swiss Army knife. Is it the best one Victorinox offers? No. I would have to give that distinction to their compact model. But the compact is surprisingly expensive for what you get. And unlike the Tinker, the compact comes with a hybrid can opener, bottle opener tool. On this, you get dedicated tools for that. For those of you thinking, yeah, that looks like a pretty awesome Victorinox model, but I wish it had scissors. Well, you can definitely get scissors, but you'd have to buy the Super Tinker. The Super Tinker is a Tinker with scissors, but unfortunately, you also get that nowadays absolutely useless parcel hook feature on the spine of the Super Tinker. And normally adding one layer to a Victorinox model, not a big deal. However, with the Super Tinker, that's a 3-layer Swiss Army knife. The Tinker is only 2 layers, as you can see. So, unfortunately, if you want scissors, you're going to have to put up with a Victorinox model that is 50% thicker than the Tinker. Yeah. When you go from 2 layers to 3 layers, it makes a bit of a difference. But overall, I really like the Tinker, and I love these absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous sapphire blue handle scales. I'm really glad I bought it. I'm really glad I have it in my collection. As far as EDC purposes, I am going to give it a conditional recommendation. If its tool set appeals to you and you want a minimalist setup for your EDC, well, this is very lightweight and only 2 layers thick. I would highly, highly recommend that you take a look at the Victorinox compact model before buying a Tinker. And if the added price tag isn't an issue, and if the compact's tool set, which I think are overall better for EDC purposes than the Tinker, if those appeal to you, consider that one. Yeah. So for anyone seriously considering the Tinker for actual EDC, take a look at the compact first and its tool set. And if you want scissors with your Tinker and you're willing to put up with a 50% thicker Swiss Army knife, and you're willing to put up with that absolutely useless parcel hook, seriously, Victorinox really does need to discontinue it. But if you're willing to put up with that, yes, you can have scissors. Just spend a little extra on a Super Tinker instead of a Tinker. But as far as the Tinker goes, It is a thin, lightweight, overall excellent minimalist EDC Swiss Army knife. I don't think it's the absolute best one that Victorinox offers, but it's definitely worth a look. All right, guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I promise I'll see you soon. Take care, and please, please stay safe out there. Unfortunately, it is definitely still dangerous, as I mentioned in my previous video. Take care.